Oh boy, we got a bunch of noise tonight.
Good evening, everyone. This is Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform Oscar Romeo, calling the Metro Richmond area net for Thursday, December 11th. Your net control station this evening is KO4UOR. My name is Scott. And before I forget to mention it, please keep in mind that this repeater does now have a 90-second timeout. So if your transmission exceeds 90 seconds, you'll be locked out until the repeater IDs again. And that can happen even if you don't talk for 90 seconds. If you key up before the end of the squelch tail preceding your transmission, the time for the previous transmission will count along with yours towards that 90-second maximum.
Is that what that means?
I hope I didn't time out the repeater just then. If at any time during this net you should need to relay emergency traffic, please use the word brake, and the net will yield for your traffic and assist in any way we can. Metro Richmond Aries is part of the ARRL and the Virginia section ARES program. This net meets weekly on Thursdays at 1900 hours on the 145.430 repeater.
I maintain 12000, JetBlue 11.
The purpose of this net is for training and announcements for the amateur radio community with an emphasis on emergency communication. We ask that all participating stations follow standard net procedures that would be used during an active emergency net. There is no requirement to be an Aries member. All amateurs who are within range of this repeater, regardless of location or affiliation, with proper license class, are invited and encouraged to participate in this net. This is KO4UOR with the Metro Richmond Aries net. Okay, some general housekeeping before we get started with check-ins. This is a directed net, which means stations must be acknowledged by the net control operator before proceeding with comments or discussion. One feature of this net is the discussion of the day. The discussion of the day is intended to be a way to learn more about amateur radio, emergency preparedness, and general safety. So we hope all will participate. The topic this week is Christmas trees. Christmas trees. Live natural tree, live cut tree, or artificial. I'd be interested to know what you use. We have been using an artificial tree for the past, probably 30 years. And so let me know what your family's preference is for Christmas trees. I think a live tree with a root ball can be planted again. A live tree that's been cut needs to drink water until you're done with it. And artificial tree doesn't need water, sunlight, or anything. I will be taking check-ins in two groups, mobile and portable stations, and then all other stations. When checking in, I only need your call sign phonetically with proper ITU alphabet and your first name. I will get your location and a received signal report when I call back for comments.
And there it goes. Somebody needs a timer.
Kind of like ones and quarters.
What's your top is 1903 hours?
All right. Mobile and portable stations. Are there any mobile or portable stations wishing to check in? If so, I need your call sign phonetically and your first name. Please call now.
Not anyone in Ragchew crash. She's Ragchew in North 11th Street. Call is advising. They're going to be sitting on the side of the children's hospital. Reports of one person with a knee injury. 1905.
Are there any mobile or portable stations wishing to check in to the Metro Richmond Aries net? If so, please call now with your call sign phonetically and your first name. Mobile and portable stations only. This is before Mike Golf Alpha Brewer. All right, net control acknowledges Whiskey 4 Mike Golf Alpha Brewer. Good evening, Brewer. I'm guessing you are on your HT in the living room, probably staring at a Christmas tree. Anyway, let me know what your family's preference is, or multiple preferences are, for Christmas trees, and or share any Christmas tree story you'd like to. Good evening, Scott. Well, you know, we've done a lot of live Christmas trees here at the family at Christmas years and years, but lately we've been using this rather moth-eaten artificial tree that we got from Roanoke from my mother-in-law's house, and we've kind of decided that this is its last year because it's shedding more needles than a regular dried-out duck fur. Then my daughter somehow received a brand new 9-foot fake tree in a box. Probably do that next year. But what has caught my attention recently, have you seen these pop-up Christmas trees pre-decorated? They're on Amazon. It's like you can pull up and then his fans out like a cone. And then you can get them for like $40 to $160, depending on how ornate and whether it has Bluetooth or whatever. So,
Bluetooth.
At any rate, that's my 2 cents on a Christmas tree. Back to net control.
Bluetooth Christmas tree?
Yeah, very good, Brewer. Yeah, when you described that kind of Christmas tree, I think of one that is in a box, maybe 3 feet square, maybe 8 or 10 inches tall, and the whole thing pulls up from the center like a big spiral, and then I guess it would attach to that pole. Am I on the right track? I know what you're talking about, but no. These things typically are full size, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, whatever you buy. Go on Amazon, you'll see them. And it squashes down like a pancake, like a collapsible cone into something that, you know, could look like a circular suitcase, maybe 6 inches deep. So, you guys probably got, because I don't have one, probably got those fiberglass poles like you get for the pop-up tents. And then this thing that basically you put at the peak of the pole and it falls down and deploys into a cone. It looks very much like a Christmas tree, and it has all the ornaments on it and the lights, and some of them actually have Bluetooth so you can synchronize it to the music. Yeah, look on them on Amazon. I don't think I'd seen them before this year, but it's the newest thing. Over. again brewer. New Christmas tree technology. I love it. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and open it up for general check-ins. Any station wishing to check in to the Metro Richmond Aries net, please call now with your call sign phonetically and your first name. This is
Nice double.
Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Echo Mike, David.
Hello, Alpha Delta. Name is Randy.
Over Park Command, repeat your traffic.
This is Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Echo Mike, David. I think Randy stepped on me there a minute ago. This is Kilo Delta 4, Lima Uniform Delta. Name is Mark. This is Delta 2, Juliet Delta Hotel, Andre. All right, Net Control acknowledges Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Echo Mike, David. Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Alpha Delta, Randy. Kilo Delta 4, Lima Uniform Delta, Mark. And November 2, Juliet Delta Hotel, Andre. This is KO4UOR calling the Metro Richmond Aries net. The topic of discussion is Christmas trees. I guess we could narrow it down to just live trees or artificial trees. I don't know that I've ever met someone that uses a live tree with a root ball so they can plant it again in the yard. That sounds like a neat, ecologically friendly way to do things. And Brewer mentioned his old artificial tree is losing more leaves, more needles than a real tree, and so it might be that tree's last year.
Negative. We didn't have any building maintenance
We
information.
had our first artificial tree for about 25 years, and for at least 3 years, I argued that our tree did not need to be replaced simply because it was losing lots of needles and it looked more and more lifelike. But 2 or 3 years ago, I gave in and we got a new tree and tossed the old one. Let's go up to David, KO4VEM. Good evening. Please share your comments.
You tossed it in the trash? Not
Well, good evening,
eco-friendly.
Scott, and everyone on the net. This is KO4VEM, David, over in King William. And Scott, your signal is very strong tonight. Everybody's sounding really good during check-in. Good to be back on the net tonight. I haven't been here in about a month. Been doing a lot of traveling and finally back home and settled in, and so it's good to be back. We, for years, used a real tree, a live tree, but frankly, we got tired of the mess and cleaning up and everything. Let me take a break. So I guess about 3 years ago, we got an artificial tree, and it's real nice. It's got the lights built into it, and it's got like the snow on the leaves. Some of them look a little tacky, but this one does pretty good, and so we're real happy with it. Take it out of the box, put it up, put it back in the box, and you're good to go. So, yeah, we have found that works really, really well. Like I said, we've been doing that about 2 or 3 years now. So that's about all I have. Hope everyone's doing well. And I'll turn it back over to you, Scott. This is KO4VEM.
2323.
MTV, I'd like to come your way, the Jet Center for Jill.
All right. Well, welcome home, David. Hope you enjoyed your travels, and I hope you enjoyed being at your own cozy abode and sleeping in your own bed. Next, let's go to Randy, KO4KAD. Good evening, Randy. Please share your comments.
KO4UOR, KO4KAD. Yeah, good evening, Scott, and everybody on the net. Checking in on a Baofeng UV5R Mini. Smallest radio I've ever owned. And it has dual display, dual VFOs. It actually has dual PTT buttons. So I tried to check in as mobile and portable and push the wrong PTT button. Anyways, hopefully I'm making it in now and making it in okay. Christmas trees. I'm a big fan of real trees. Funny enough, we had artificial trees, I think most of the time that I was growing up, at least that I can remember, but as an adult, I've always kind of favored my real trees. That's all I've got. Thanks for doing it, Scott. I'll turn it back to Net Control 7-3 from KO4KAD.
All right, Randy, sounds good. And I'm not going to tell him, but it kind of sounds like you may have opened one of your gifts before Christmas, that UV5R Mini. Santa is probably not on frequency, but if he is, you could be in trouble. But that sounds like a really cool little radio. And yeah, the more I hear about the artificial trees that collapse into a box, the worse I feel about the one we have. Ours spends the off season in a big zip-up duffel bag, probably at least 4 feet long, maybe 5, and has to be shoved into the attic. It works, but that little box that the whole thing collapses vertically into, that sounds like what we should be using. Anyway, all right. Next on our list is Mark, KD4LUD. Good evening, Mark. Please share your comments with the net.
Good evening, Scott, and everyone on the net. This is Mark over in Mechanicsville. And for the past 20 years or so, I've had the same artificial tree living on the top of the file cabinet in my office. It's nicely lit and decorated, and I think it survives this long because it's never been put away. It just sits up there all year long. And I turn the lights on at Christmas and off all the rest of the year. So it's no plans on replacing it anytime soon. This is KD4LUD, back to Net Control. Over.
Oh my, I like that a lot, Mark. Yeah. So it sounds like the lights are on, all the ornaments are on, the power is off during the off season. I've heard of other people, I think my parents included, who left an artificial tree up and put different ornaments on it for different holidays, including maybe Easter and maybe St. Patrick's Day, maybe the 4th of July. You can get away with that if you keep up with it. Or I think I've even heard of people that put their tree away, but fully decorated and upright. You just have to have a door big enough to move it through, and a place big enough to store it. I guess you'd have to cover it to keep the dust off. Or you could say the dust is artificial snow. Anyway.
Oh.
Next on our list is Andre, N2JDH. Tell us about your Christmas tree preferences and or any Christmas tree story.
into GDH here in Lakeside. Your signal's excellent into the repeater. Christmas trees. Well, I do have a story for one. But my mother always had to get an artificial tree, and I think over the years I still use an artificial tree. One year she did get a real tree, and she decided to use my car since it was a hatchback. And when I went to get into it, I had needles everywhere. So I'll never forget a real tree, but always had artificial trees, and we always took it down in January, mid-January. But that's all I have for the net. Thank you for holding the net. This is N2JDH.
All right, Andre. Yeah, like Randy said, there's nothing to beat the smell of a real Christmas tree. Although I guess you could have an artificial tree and one of those little air fresheners. Just hang a few of those on your tree as additional ornaments. But I can remember when we would get a live tree from the lot, and the first thing we would do is take it home and cut a half inch or so off of the bottom so it could drink water better. Speaking of water, I heard on the news this morning a little bit of trivia about the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. And I'll tell you the answer to the trivia question at the end. But the question is, how many gallons of water does the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree consume each day? So, thought it was pretty interesting. All right, we're at the bottom of the list. This is KO4UOR calling the Metro Richmond Aries net. Are there additional stations that are ready to check in? If so, please call.
Engine 5 and truck 3. Fire alarm. 944 Front Street at Foundry Apartment. Engine 5 and truck 3. Fire alarm. 944 Front Street at Foundry Apartment. Cross streets are Webster Street and Brook Road.
All right, since we have a break, I didn't hear any stations ready to check in. I was listening to the RatsNet last night, and I can't remember how many stations Rob KB2OYI said they had, but that number was quite low. And at this point, we're right at five stations, the lowest I can remember. But maybe people are out Christmas shopping. Maybe it's not true that every male waits until Christmas Eve to do their Christmas shopping. And let's see. Yeah, it looks like last week we had 16. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and answer. Well, is there anyone on frequency that would like to guess how many gallons the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree consumes per day? And please don't answer if you already know the answer.
Then what's the point?
Triple companies in Bronx for general fire alarm, 944 Fourth Street. Received 2 calls, one from a private resident and one from...
All right, let's see. Brewer, are you still on frequency? If so, would you give us a guess for how many gallons per day the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree consumes?
120.
David, would you like to hazard a guess? KO4VEM, how many gallons does the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree consume in one day?
Engine 6. Motor vehicle accident.
I'll tell you, Scott, that's a tough one. It's a huge tree. I'd say maybe 50 gallons a day. I would have no idea, but it'd be interesting to find out.
Time out. 1924.
Okay, very good. I got you down for 50 gallons. And coincidentally, that's the same number my son guessed when I gave him that question. Randy, do you want to give us a guess about how many gallons the tree consumes each day?
Yeah, K04UOR, K04KAD. Yeah, I'm going to go quite a bit lower. I'm going to go with 7.
That is quite a bit lower. 7. Got you down for 7. And Mark, would you like to make a guess about the water consumption for the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree?
I'm going to go higher. I'm going to say 80 gallons. 84 LED back to net control.
Okay, Mark got you down for 80 gallons. And Andre, would you like to make a guess?
Mark, how to steal my answer? I'm going to say 90.
All right, very good. Got you down for 90. So we had 50, 7, 80, and 90. Andre is right. According to the Today Show, the Christmas tree consumes 90 gallons a day. So, what's that, like almost two 55-gallon drums of water, but I think they just do it with a hose. But that's a lot of water. And I can remember, maybe having the responsibility as a kid of making sure the water level never dropped below the stump of the tree, because then it usually would, I guess, seal itself up and no longer drink water. But anyway, are there any other check-ins for the Metro Richmond Aries net? If so, please call now with your call sign phonetically and your first name.
Anyway.
All right. Nothing heard. So let's see. We did get 5 check-ins, 6 including myself, and pretty sure everybody is familiar with the list of the other nets throughout the week. So I'm not going to go through that list if it's all right with you. This is K04UOR, and I will proceed to close the net. But before I do, I would like to thank all those stations who participated and the stations that stood by to give us the time for this net. I would also like to thank the Metropolitan Repeater Association for the use of their repeater. The Metro Richmond Aries net is now closed, and this repeater is returned to regular amateur radio use. 7-3, everyone. This is K04UOR. Clear and monitoring.
K04UOR is N2JH.
Yeah, go ahead, Andre.
Yeah, that was a pretty good guess of mine. I didn't even know. I was actually shocked that it was 90. But they took my answer, 80. Come on.
Anyway, I was just thinking,
After,
I don't know, probably, well, anyway, I think it was, let's see, that's a simplex net. Well, at any rate, I think it was my turn in November. a short list, and you had asked that I be sure to share that with everybody on the net control team. And I asked, I sent that list to Randy and asked him to share it, but I don't know that it went out. Did you receive that list, or would you like me to read it to you?
I actually did not get a copy of that list. Well, you know, I can read it. I'll come up with a topic for next Thursday. Should be fine with that. And then I cheated. I recorded most of the net on buttons, so I could just press them.
Cheater.
Oh, okay. You mean the script?
Yeah, I got it as you know, the script in like 4 different buttons. But yeah, I'll figure out a topic. You know, maybe I'll do a Christmas wish list. You know, what would you like to have on your Christmas list? And, you know, see what people say. But yeah, I got the script down.
All right, very good. Yeah, I think I remember seeing a message from Jim, W4PKR, saying that he was going to need us to find a replacement for him. I don't know if that's already been done or not, but I think he was just not able to get into the repeater reliably enough, and or he has so many pet sitting gigs that take him away from his shack that he's not confident that he can run the net, I guess, from his front seat of his car. I know he travels sometimes to other states for pet sitting gigs. So pretty cool little retirement business. Back to you.
Probably too cold for him to sit on the porch.
Into GDH where I need. Yeah, I mean, I'll just see if I can pick up something starting off VCU next month, so I'll be in college. I'm trying to work my schedule where I'm home on Thursday, try not to have any classes after 5 p.m., so I'm home to be ready for that. And that's just in general. I know from January to May, I'm good. So I might be able to pick up some other days. I'm not audible, but I might be able to pick up a few for us.
Oh, that's great, Andre. Congratulations on getting started at VCU. Have you already chosen what you're going to study?
Sure did.
Didn't quite get
Go
that.
database.
What?
I think I missed a little bit of that. I heard you say database. Is that a specialty within computer science, or tell me again what you said? I missed it.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it was information system, like IT, but it's IS. So I deal with mostly databases, SQL, and a couple other stuff like that.
Okay, excellent. That's exactly the work my son does for Estes Express Lines. He works in the pricing department, and he maintains and modifies a database or databases that are used to figure out what it actually costs the company to serve either particular customers or particular lanes across the country. So he really enjoys that. He got his degree at George Mason, and he's 100% remote with Estes. So yeah, that sounds like a very interesting curriculum. And yeah, get started in the winter semester. Do they do semesters or quarters at VCU?
Oh, they do semesters. And yeah, Yes, it's actually the same degree. Data analyst, data, managing databases, it's pretty much the same degree. You get a broad knowledge of different systems or how to manage them. But yeah, I start spring and get a little break in the summertime where I might take some classes, then it picks right back up in the fall.
Okay, well, great. That's a great school. And yeah, that's also from the Today Show a couple of days ago. They did a story about the fact that Virginia is the state with the most data. What do you call them? Data center. Is that right? But you know what I mean. Yeah, data centers. Apparently, Loudoun County, Virginia, is the champion within the state, and Virginia is the champion for the United States for data centers. Whether that's good or bad can be argued.
Is that what you want? You want to die on that hill?
Well, I believe that to be true because there's one in Sampson, lacrosse. I think one in South Boston area, and there's one more in Richmond. There's a lot of them, and between that and the solar panel farms, those are the two major things that I've actually seen across the state. So yeah, I believe that.
Everyone's going to pay for that with their power bill, you know.
Yeah, in fact, my Henrico County supervisor, Misty Roundtree, has been keeping us updated about Goochland County and Hanover County, both of whom are planning to allow the construction of data centers very close to their borders with Henrico. And one of them would impact those high-dollar homes out in the Wyndham area. And, those residents are fighting, trying to push back and make sure there's going to be a decent-sized buffer between their homes and the data center that they've approved in the county. And similarly, I think the same is true for Hanover County. They're planning or are considering allowing the construction of one or more data centers near their border with Henrico. But Henrico has tightened up, and I guess it's a longer, more involved process for those folks to get approval for those projects. Apparently, they're very hard on the infrastructure because they need so much electricity, and apparently they're very noisy as well.
Yeah, that they are. Those cooling chambers that they have to have, I've seen them. They're huge. I mean, yeah, they're massive, and some of them have actual transformers built on stage, on the location. So yeah, so it's going to produce its own electricity, so you got that as well as the fans, ACs, and it's a lot. And it's great for the counties because it produces money, but like you said, it's going to be loud, and I agree with them having the buffers. They really do need to something just to put, keep that volume down.
I'm not really this much into trivia, but it did make me think of one other dubious title that Virginia either does hold or did hold about, it's probably been more than 20 years ago. I remember reading or hearing that the state of Virginia was ranked second among states that import garbage from other states. So you've probably seen, I'm sure you've seen the trains with the blue or green or orange boxes. Those are transporting other states' waste to, as I recall, a giant landfill along the James River. I want to say it's in shucks, it's one of the counties down towards Williamsburg. Got courthouse in the name. But anyway, yeah, I'm not sure that I kind of like the idea of each state being responsible for disposing of their own waste on, within their own borders.
Real estate. Big money.
Yeah, I agree with that last part. But yeah, I didn't know that. I know New York sends their trash to New Jersey. New Jersey throws it on the train. And I just didn't know where it was coming from. Now it's starting to make me think maybe the New York's trash and New Jersey's trash is coming down here to Virginia. Yeah, we need to change that. But yeah, I didn't. That's news to me. I did not know that, but I did notice those cars. Yeah, that's something new.
All gotta go somewhere.
Time out. 1940.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm going to head downstairs and turn off the radio. I hope that, let's see. Well, let me say this. Every second Saturday of the month, a group of hams meets for breakfast at Kitchen 33. Not Eat 33 on Staples Mill Road, but Kitchen 33, which is also on Staples Mill Road, but just beyond Interstate 295 in Hanover County. And, good home cooked or home style breakfast food. And you would be welcome at any time to join us. We've had as few as 4 and as many as 12, I think. And it's usually around 6 or 7. But we just talk radio and other things and enjoy breakfast food. But that's the second Saturday of each month, starting at 8:30 in the morning. So, day after tomorrow, the second Saturday of this.
And it's gone. That's always funny. Regular Neck and Joe really should know better, but what are you going to do? Remind them every time?
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, well, this Saturday, Reefs across America, that's when we go to Coal Harbor Cemetery and we lay wreaths on the tombstones of fallen soldiers. So this Saturday, I'm not going to be able to attend, but I definitely wrote that down, and I'll try to attend. Kitchen 33, second Saturday at 8:30. Sounds good. Thank you.
I guess we'll see you next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I assume, but don't know for sure, that Estes Express Lines, the company I used to work for and that my son and daughter both work for, is still one of the primary carriers for the wreaths for that event. I know that whenever we would send out Christmas cards, there was always a little slip in there about wreaths across America and the importance of that to management. So yeah, thank you for your continued service, putting soldiers to rest, and now decorating their graves with those beautiful wreaths. All right, Andre, I'm going to say 7-3 for now. Look forward to our next QSO. KO4UOR. Back to you for a final.
KO4UOR. This has been all right, 73. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll definitely chat again. And if we don't, happy holidays. Into GDH on the time.
Well, I appreciate it if you made it this far. It's a long long video.
I just pick that mic down when you're midway through.
About as interesting as it gets, it seems like, for an Aries net. Almost nothing to do with the amateur radio emergency service. So I guess Ragchew was better than none. All right, my name's William. You're watching the American Radio X-Ray, and maybe, hopefully, we'll see you next time. Leave your comments down below. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever the case may be. Somebody says something about a hype button, whatever that is. So if you can find that, I'd appreciate if you push it. This particular channel is not monetized. I don't make any money. I don't sell you anything. I don't care to do that stuff. And, you know, it's all just for fun. I like to use the old equipment and watch it work. And that's really about it. You could do a lot of these things with the older equipment. You don't have to buy new if you don't want to, if that's your interest. All right, guys. Catch you next time.